Are you thinking of purchasing one of these units? Or maybe you already have one and not sure how to change the filters. I'm going to show you how, step by step in this video. What's up everybody? I'm Triple M. I've owned this unit for about 6 years now, and before that I owned a countertop model for about 5 years. So I've changed these filters many times. And I'll talk about my experiences with both units in the review video. Now, let's get started. To get started, you're going to need a few things. Some rags, a large container to hold water, a flashlight, the 3 filters, and a spanner wrench. This one's got a UV light, so first things first, we're going to unplug the UV light. Make sure it's off, light's out. Then you're going to turn off your cold water supply. You're going to check up on the faucet, no more water, so we're good to go. You could just pry it up gently. You gotta get the spanner wrench in there, make sure those little notches are lined up. What's nice about this unit is it's attached to the wall, so you don't have to remove it. And firm pressure will come right off. Now here's a tip. Use an old shower curtain or kid's birthday party tablecloth so you don't get it wet all under there. Now this is the hardest part. You just got to go slow and steady and unscrew it a little bit at a time. It's just like unscrewing an oil filter on a car. There's a lot of water in these canisters. I like doing this one by one so you don't mix anything up. But what's nice about this, they're labeled on the canisters. Should have did a better job showing you that, but nonetheless, it's there. So this is the sediment filter. It removes sediment, sand, and dirt. Yep, that was white when it started. So it's definitely doing its job. Now you want to match it up with the new filter. Sometimes they look a little different. Like this one I have is like a pleated design, but as long as it says what it is, then you should be good and it fits in there. So you want to wipe this out with a clean rag. If it gets really bad, then I mix a little bit of vinegar and water and I wipe it out with that pretty good and then rinse it out thoroughly. You don't want to use chemicals in here. Remember, you're drinking out of this. So once it's good, you want to check this O-ring. You want to make sure there's no nicks or gouges or anything. You just take a little bit of water and just lubricate the O-ring so it doesn't stick. Pop in your new filter. So that's good. Now you're just gonna start this by hand. Make sure you don't cross thread anything, because then you'll definitely have a leak. But just go slow and steady. And you just want to get it hand tight. See, there's the label. Then you use your spanner wrench, and you're just gonna go a little extra snug with it. Just like that. Be careful, you make sure those tangs are locked in, otherwise you're gonna slip and crush your knuckles on something. Alright, that should be good. On to filter 2. We're gonna do the same thing. Just pry it out gently, put your spanner wrench there, get the notches hooked in, firm pressure. Sometimes you gotta readjust the spanner wrench. There we go. And we're gonna just unscrew this just like the other one. Now this is the GAC filter. It's usually made with coconuts. Yeah, this is pretty scuzzy. This takes out the bad odor and the taste. Get that out of there. Alright. Yeah, I see it's pretty nasty right there. This is the one where I needed to use vinegar to clean it out. Clean that out with some vinegar and water. Rinse it out real good. Now this is the new filter. All nice and clean. It's very important. You got to check the O-rings on all of these. You want to clean out anything up here. Make sure there's no sediment or anything up there. Like I said, take some water on your finger. Just go around the O-ring lightly. Both the thick one and the smaller one. Because that way it won't get stuck or bind. It'll just tighten up smoothly. You just want to go hand tight. Just slowly. Just tighten it. And then you're going to take your spanner wrench. Just add a little more. I mean, once you get doing these for a while, it should take you probably about 45 minutes to do everything from start to finish. Now we're going to move to filter number 3. Same thing. Just pry it gently. Make sure the spanner wrench is right. Lock in the grooves. Firm pressure. There you go. I mean, it's the most tedious part, but for what this purifier can do, it's worth it. This really isn't bad at all. This is the block carbon filter. It removes chlorine, bad taste, and odors. So if you got heavily chlorinated water, this will definitely help you, because my water is so chlorinated, everything looks like garbage outside. Like the house, the fence, you could constantly have to be cleaning it. Now we clean that out, put the new filter in, get to lubricate these O-rings, and it's rinse, lather, and repeat. That's all there is to it. And you're just gonna tighten it up. Use your wrench. Give it a little extra. And here's the most important part. Just double check everything. So just go one at a time. Just make sure you got a little. That's good, just like that. It's snug. You don't want any leaks under your sink. Trust me. It'd be a nightmare for you. There we go. 1, 2, 3. They're all nice and snug. Now what you're gonna do next is gonna wipe off any excess water. So you don't want to be confused whether that's a leak or not. Make sure it's nice and dry. Then you're gonna turn on your cold water supply, and you're gonna hear the canisters start to fill. It's gonna take a while for them to fill up because they're pretty big. They hold lots of water. But once they get done filling up, you're gonna go up to the top and turn on the faucet. Now you might hear some air bubbles, so you want to just kind of bleed those out until you get a steady stream like that. Now you're gonna let this run for 10 minutes. Now after that, you want to check for air bubbles, make sure everything's good, there's no air, because otherwise you're gonna have to do it again to bleed the air out. Now you want to go down below, now check for leaks, feel the canisters, feel the unit, anywhere you were, you don't see any, everything's good. Cold water supply is good. Now we can plug the UV light back in. Now that's good, the light is on. Now, it's time for the taste test. Always taste the purified water first, not the tap water. Because the purified water should taste just like water, and the tap water, if you got stuff in it, it's going to be pretty funky, and you'll be able to tell that way. But if you taste the tap water first, you're going to have that bad taste in your mouth, and then you're going to taste the filtered water and you're not going to think it's filtered. So always taste the filtered water first. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a video on how to install this, because believe it or not, I got this long before I even thought about having a YouTube channel. But when I do have to change the UV light, I will be making a video of that to show you just how easy that is as well.